So it is all about Wednesday afternoon. Dubbmaster Chris in the building. And right now, I do believe that we have our assembly member on with us. Mr. Mamdani is now with us.
Dubbmaster Chris, how are you? It's a pleasure to be on.
We got you. Good afternoon, sir. How you doing today?
Good afternoon. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing well. I mean, under the circumstances, as you do know, our brothers and sisters on our island home, Jamaica, had to deal with a serious hurricane yesterday. So, we're dealing with all of those issues and, just trying to pull the family back together. But other than that, I'm good.
Absolutely. I'm thinking of the people of Jamaica, and I know that there are so many New Yorkers with loved ones back home and dealing with and recovering from this devastating Hurricane Melissa. And I know that, I've seen some reports that 3 people died in the preparations for the storm. We still don't know how many have died as a result of it. And my hopes and prayers is that, we can return to some kind of stability and safety for so many. And do you have any family that has been affected by the storm?
Well, actually, no direct family, but friends and a few people that I'm still trying to get in touch with because, communication is a little bit sketchy right now, but we're hoping for the best. But so far, it doesn't seem to be too devastating, but we have heard that there has been some loss of life, and we are going to continue to try to get as much information as we can. But we're fighters, so we will continue to fight through this.
Absolutely, I continue to believe in the strength and the fight of Jamaican New Yorkers and Jamaicans everywhere, and truly, I'm looking forward to being a partner in that work as the next mayor of New York City.
Well, all right, so let's talk about that. Elections just around the corner, and we want everybody listening to the radio right now to pay attention because we're talking to Assembly Member Mamdani, and the first name is Zohran. Yes?
Yes, the first name is Zohran, the middle name is Kwame, the last name is Mamdani.
Okay, and you were born in Uganda, sir?
Yes, sir. I was born in Kampala, Uganda. My father gave me the middle name Kwame after the first Prime Minister of Ghana, Kwame Nkrumah, to teach me the importance of Pan-Africanism. I moved to Cape Town, South Africa, when I was 5. When I was 7 years old. This is where I've grown up.
Wow. Amazing beginning to your journey there, sir.
Yes, sir. And I'm excited to continue on that journey with New Yorkers across the 5 boroughs here.
Oh, yeah, we're looking forward to great things. And we do know that this election is going to be an extremely important election. So everybody listening right now, I hope you're paying attention to the process. And let's start there. I mean, let's talk a little bit about what is happening as far as preparing for this election, and what are like some of the highlights? What are some of the things that you really want the voters to look out for, pay attention to?
I want voters across this city to know that life in this city does not have to be this hard. We do not have to live in the most expensive city in the United States of America as if it is a fact of life. And, for as much of the focus of who's on the ballot, I always like to share of what's on the ballot, because we are the only campaign that has a vision for our city's future. And that's a future where we would freeze the rent for more than 2 million rent-stabilized tenants. We would make the slowest buses in the country fast and free, deliver universal child care. And it's a future that would make this a place that New Yorkers can do more than just dream of affording to struggle, but in fact get beyond that back to the dreams that brought them here in the first place.
Right. And obviously that is going to be a serious job assignment for you, sir, when you do get into office, because, a lot of New Yorkers are very disgruntled with the way how the city has been run for a very long time. And I do know that also voter turnout is going to be a major component to making this election what it needs to be. So, so far, how do you think it has been going as far as the response from the electorate?
I am always excited by reports of more and more New Yorkers coming out to vote. I think it's something that we should all celebrate. And I'm taking it as my job over these next 6 days to ensure that we continue to bring that message to New Yorkers, for whom many are just starting to tune into this race. Because, New Yorkers are busy trying to survive this city, and they don't have time to think about the politics of this city. So this last week is the time that we make that case. And, I was at a canvas launch in Hell's Kitchen yesterday. A friend of mine, Charlie, went out to knock doors. He shared after the fact that he met someone who was just tuning in. And this is that moment to let them know that they should go out and early vote from today through Sunday. And if they can't then they should go on Election Day, 6 a.m. to 9 p.m., and come out and be a part of the change this city so desperately needs.
Now, if anyone listening wants or needs additional information as to how to get to their voting stations and their positions where they need to be to get their votes in, how can they get that information? Do you know?
Yes, they should go to zohranfornyc.com/vote. Again, that's zohranfornyc.com/vote. That will take you directly to where you can locate your poll site and let you know when you can head out there. And I think, what I've heard from New Yorkers is that the affordability crisis is one that doesn't care if you're a Republican or a Democrat or unaffiliated. It just cares that you're a New Yorker, because all of us have to pay our rent or pay our mortgage or get the $2.90 to ride the bus or take the train. These are costs that we all face. It's time to have a mayor who is looking to serve every single one of the New Yorkers dealing with that crisis.
Okay. And for the folks out there who are concerned about, moving forward with this New York City family that we have, because it is indeed a family, and we have people from all over the world and a lot of immigrants in the city. A lot of the folks who are hardworking New Yorkers, they have so many concerns. What do you think is the most important issue of the hardworking New Yorkers?
I would be proud to be the first immigrant mayor of this city in generations, and prouder still to actually reflect the struggles of immigrant New Yorkers and the policies that I pursue. And I think that the number one issue that are facing New Yorkers, whether immigrant or not, is cost of living in this city. And I'll tell you that I am going to be, unlike Donald Trump, someone who can both take on the cost of living crisis and do it while protecting immigrant New Yorkers right here in New York City. Because I know that for immigrant New Yorkers, and especially for Caribbean New Yorkers, I have heard of the devastating impact that Trump's attacks on the TPS program have had. I've heard it from New Yorkers themselves. I've heard it from small businesses who've told me that they have far fewer customers. And I've also seen it in the images that have been coming out of 26 Federal Plaza, where so many New Yorkers used to go for a regular court appearance. Now they're going there to say goodbye to their families so that they would be deported by this federal administration that is looking to tear at the very fabric of the city each and every day.
Yeah, and recently we have been seeing where New Yorkers have experienced, the ICE patrols in the city. And it is a very scary moment for New Yorkers, especially immigrant New Yorkers. And it's even crazy when we see that even people who are born here in the United States of America, born here in New York City, have been, pretty much battered and bruised by, these people in the streets of New York City. Now, what would you say to the immigrants to let them feel a little bit more comfortable about moving forward and making sure that we don't have to deal with these atrocities in our streets as we this election?
Dubbmaster Chris, I sadly have to jump off after this question. They're dragging me into the next meeting. But what I will say is that to those immigrant New Yorkers, I know exactly the fear that they feel. And I know this myself as an immigrant, and I know this also as a New Yorker. And the choice that they have in this election, that every New Yorker has, is between a candidate in Andrew Cuomo, who is Donald Trump's pick to be the next mayor of this city, is someone who is funded by Donald Trump's billionaire donors, and is someone who told New Yorkers do not overreact when they saw the images of ICE agents going after people in Los Angeles. And then there's myself, an immigrant New Yorker who will always step up to the plate for those same immigrant New Yorkers in actually defending them, in fighting back against the Trump administration, and in holding that administration to account to the same laws that each of us here are held to account to. It's been a real pleasure to be on, and I wish you the best, and I hope that you make contact soon with the friends that you haven't been able to reach back in Jamaica, and I truly hope for a quick recovery from this devastating storm.
Well, Assemblyman Mamdani, we thank you very much for your time. We know you're a very busy man, but don't be a stranger, sir. We wish you nothing but the best in this upcoming election. And when you do take office, sir, do not be a stranger. Is that okay?
Absolutely. You have my word. Thank you, Dubbmaster Chris. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay. Talk to you soon, too. Take care. God bless. All right.
God bless.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that is Assembly Member Zohran Mamdani running for mayor of this city. And as you can tell, the man is very, very busy. The man is doing his due diligence. Ladies and gentlemen, pay attention to the process. Pay attention to the candidates, because it's very important. And I don't need to tell you that it directly affects your day-to-day life. And we're seeing that more and more and more in this present environment that we're living in. So, ladies and gentlemen, do your part to make sure that you make the right decision come election day. Movements. And that's what it's all about. Forward movement. Making a little bit of progress every single day.